I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Alex Melikhov, the CEO of Equilibrium. Alex, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time to be here today.
Hi, Ashton. Hi, everyone who's watching us today. Thanks very much for having me here. Super excited about the opportunity to share more details on Equilibrium and the Polkadot DeFi overall.
Definitely, and I'm very excited to dive into the world of DeFi, especially in the Polkadot ecosystem. And DeFi overall has just been really hot throughout this bull market so far this year in cryptocurrency. And I would just love for you to kick it off with just an overall explanation and overview and the focus of Equilibrium and the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a nutshell, Equilibrium is the first interoperable conglomerate of DeFi products. It's actually comprised of the comprehensive lending platform and the professional-grade decentralized exchange. So the reason why we are uniting all these sort of DeFi use cases in one interface is that we are aiming basically to solve the DeFi fragmentation. As you probably recall, the current DeFi markets is scattered across multiple protocols and even across multiple blockchain networks. So by building things on Polkadot, which delivers the interoperability functionality out of the box, and introducing all these DeFi use cases united in one stop shop, we basically solve this problem first of all, and secondly, you basically can consider that as building a conglomerate as one of the approaches to solve this problem. However, basically the second approach might be building a sort of aggregator, like the guys from One Inch project do, or per se guys from Refinance. Obviously, this approach also makes sense. However, it represents certain drawbacks. Per se, you're taking the risk of third-party technologies, while when you're taking the approach of building conglomerate, you have basically the greenfield to design everything almost off the ground. So we decided to take this approach with respect to the opportunity to build things on Polkadot, which is the brand new ecosystem which offers the ultimate number of technical innovations.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's very exciting, Alex. And I wanted to dive in a little bit more for people that are just diving into DeFi themselves right now in terms of the problems that you're solving. And I know the majority of DeFi is on Ethereum. We're seeing the congestion there with the transaction fees, and also it's just a little slow, and it's unexpected in terms of, it could be double the cost one day, half the cost the next, but it still seems to be a little bit too much money compared to something like Binance Smart Chain. And then there's that having to switch between different protocols. Are those sort of the main issues right now, is like the cost and also moving from a lending on one blockchain to the next? And is that really the primary solution that Equilibrium is going to be bringing?
Yes, absolutely. So definitely these issues that you, Ashton, mentioned are on the table. So first of all, the expensive transactions is one of the reasons why users are moving from Ethereum to other chains, Binance Smart Chain, or some other blockchain platforms. Obviously, Polkadot is also addressing this issue by introducing first of all, sharding out of the box, right? So if you consider Polkadot as the blockchain platform, we have parachains here on the table. And on another side, Polkadot offers interoperability, uniting blockchain networks, basically connecting them with its relay chain via bridges. And this is kind of the solution to the fragmentation of liquidity, first of all, right? Because in the current DeFi space, you cannot freely move assets across different blockchains in the decentralized manner, and such technical solutions as Polkadot is one of the obvious solutions here to this problem as well. building the conglomerate of DeFi products on Polkadot is quite conscious decision, because at some point we were obviously choosing the blockchain platform to place our core technology to, and the obvious choice was Polkadot at that point, because from our perspective it's one of the most advantageous platform in terms of its technical capabilities and how they're solving the interoperability issue, because like you know that bridges on Polkadot are truly decentralized, and actually the Polkadot technology is taking basically paying close attention to the decentralization and the optimization of the overall network capacity and transaction costs and its efficiency.
Definitely, and I agree, Alex. And I was looking at the Equilibrium website, and I see that you have a wide variety of DeFi lending products already. Could you talk about what's most popular? What are the main products that you're delivering for the end users on Equilibrium?
So first of all, the lending platform is the main components of our DeFi platform overall, and the functionality of our lending platform includes obviously pooled lending, also a decentralized stablecoin functionality. We have our native decentralized stablecoin back to dollar, and also we have the embedded functionality of synthetic assets. Along with that, we are also offering the functionality of different other derivatives that will be built on top of this platform as well. So the main difference between Equilibrium and other lending platform is that we are introducing the innovative economy model, which is underpinning all this product line, and we are bringing in certain innovations. For example, we are taking the risk-based approach compared to the utilization approach, which is common to the current DeFi lending protocols like Compounds or Aave. And the main difference here that this risk-based approach is inherited from the traditional finance, and that means that we are assessing borrowing costs, taking into consideration, first of all, the risk profile of particular user positions and the system solvency overall, which means that actually the particular interest on the particular loan depends on the sort of level of risk for a user position, and users can set lower interest on their loans by providing either more collateral or less volatile collateral to their positions, which is quite interesting. And from our perspective, it makes way more sense rather than just setting interest based on utilization of the particular assets, and this approach makes the system more balanced and sustainable.
Definitely, and thank you for that. And you mentioned there the pooled lending and synthetic asset generation combining with trading, and I would love to just elaborate on that a little bit more. A lot of these terms for people that are just starting to stake and move into liquidity pools are a little bit confused with the details and the intricacies between the different kinds of liquidity providing and staking. Could you just explain that a little bit more in terms of what is the pooled lending combining with synthetic asset generation, and how does that provide value for the end users?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, we clearly see the tendency on the markets that different platforms are trying to build sort of ecosystems around their core products. Per se, let's take into consideration the Synthetics platform. They introduced the synthetic asset generation first, and then they were starting building exchange and some other features of their platform, which were just like from our standpoint, artificially combined with one with each other. In the case of Equilibrium, we were thinking of our product line as the integral sort of DeFi platform with a wide variety of features from the very beginning, and that's why. First of all, we have rolled out the very thought-out architecture for that, and all these products that I mentioned are simply strings on this architecture, and it doesn't require from us that much development efforts to deliver sort of new functionality on top of that. Mm-hmm. If this addresses your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And the DeFi space has been exploding and with exponential growth. And I'm curious to hear your story about the Equilibrium team growing the product, and how has the growth of the industry impacted the way that your team has been building and scaling and trying to get to market and keep up with this fast-paced growth?
So first of all, we see quite a bunch of interest from the community with regards to what we are building on Polkadot, and this is kind of exciting because the more and more newcomers actually joining our community and support us from different perspectives. We recently have conducted the first phase of our parachain lease offering, for example, and we have collected 250,000 dots, which will be used as a bid for our parachain on the Polkadot network. And definitely in this kind of overall atmosphere of excitement, it's quite easy to build new products and to deliver new functionality. So we definitely rely on the support of our community. That parachain auctions are coming to Kusama, and we'll be introducing the parachain on the Kusama network as well. It is called Jinchira, which will be a little bit different to what we are building on Polkadot, because it will be more inheriting the experimental spirits of the Kusama network, first of all. And we also, we actually expect to roll out the first modules of our system into production on Kusama first. Mm-hmm. So, getting back to your question, how exactly this sort of DeFi growth and the excitement of the community impacts Equilibrium and the development of our products. So again, we think that it definitely the right time to roll out the new functionality introduced to the community and bootstrap liquidity and facilitate the user acquisition at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and thank you for going into detail on the parachain lease offerings and in Kusama. I'm excited to see Equilibrium first go to Kusama, and it is very promising what that technology can bring to have Equilibrium tie into that. And I'm guessing that those lease offerings tie into the EQ token as well. Can you talk more about the Equilibrium token and the ecosystem? Does it create a sustainable ecosystem for the participants inside of Equilibrium?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, we have the EQ token, which is the key asset for the Equilibrium ecosystem. It plays a significant role there, being first of all, the core asset for our blockchain at the Polkadot, connected with the Polkadot network. Secondly, it will be used obviously as a governance token, and it will enable the community to vote for some significant system parameters, and thirdly, it will be used as a platform currency, so users will be paying fees and interest on their loans. And maybe the most significant use case for the EQ token is actually an opportunity to use it as collateral and as a bailout liquidity to secure loans in the system and to earn additional yield. So on the side of our Jinchira parachain, which will be connected with the Kusama network, we also have the utility token called Gens. And this token will be also distributed to existing EQ token holders, and basically the vast majority of tokens will be distributed even before the network will be launched, and specifically through the PLO, which is upcoming, and we expect to roll out the PLO on Kusama relatively soon, because it seems like the Parisian auctions on Kusama will be launched really shortly.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you for that explanation, Alex. And yeah, I was going to ask the next steps for Equilibrium. Are you waiting on Kusama to enable the PLOs? What are the main goals that your team's trying to achieve in the next 2 to 3 months as you continue to grow and launch the platform?
So first of all, we are expecting to launch the core functionality, specifically our lending platform, as we have since we have developed almost everything in terms of our lending platform, including the bailout functionality, the functionality of pooled lending, and stablecoin functionality as well. So it will be sort of the first batch of features that will be rolled out into production. Simultaneously, we will be launching our liquidity farming program, which will allow the community to earn on liquidity provision into our system, and we expect to bootstrap liquidity through that on our platform. So with respect to our sort of short-term plans, I think that's pretty much it. And obviously, the significant portion of these plans is related to obtaining the parachain slot on Kusama. And simultaneously, we are getting prepared for the second phase of our PLO on Polkadot, and we expect that, like roughly in 1 month or so after Kusama parachain auctions will kick off, the parachain auctions will arrive at the Polkadot network as well.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting. And for the viewers that are interested in following along with these launches on Equilibrium and getting involved in the community, what's the best way for them to learn more?
Yeah, so first of all, you definitely need to follow our Twitter accounts. It's Equilibrium DeFi. Also, you can follow the Twitter accounts of our Jinchira projects, which is Jinchira DeFi. Also, feel free to visit our website at equilibrium.io and join our Telegram channel as well.
Sounds great, Alex. I will leave all of those links in the description box below. All the best with the upcoming launches and the whole platform. I'm looking forward to seeing it launch, and I will be following along. And let's follow up in the near future.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ashton. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today.